The question I have at this point, since it seems like the Clippers aren't going to be able to acquire another point guard, whether off the bench or a starting point guard, simply because contracts or, trade proposals just didn't go through. Can the Clippers trust Bones Hyland? Because Bones Hyland is a combo guard, shooting guard. He can play shooting guard or point guard. Last year, between the Denver Nuggets and the Clippers, he averaged about 12 points a game, 3 assists, shooting about 40% from the field. And when you think about that as a young player like he is, he shows a lot of promise. He looks really, he looks like he has a really big upside to him. And he has a lot of great energy about him, what I do like about his game and I like about him. And it seems like his demeanor is very high-spirited as well. So when you think about that, him as a player and what he can bring to the Clippers in regards to that, I think that's something they're going to have to make good enough, whether he's good enough to do it or not. Because as I said, I don't think that the Clippers are going to be able to pull off any type of trades or anything right now. And if they do, what will they have to give up to get it? And that's what the Clippers have been kind of scaling back on with some of these trade proposals, because I've seen reports and things like that where they were close to getting Drew Holiday, close to getting Malcolm Brogdon, all these other type guards and stuff like that. But close and getting it is two different things, right? So the reason why the Clippers probably haven't been able to land one of those is simply because teams see all the Clippers have in regards to their depth and all the people they have surrounding their star players. They want some of that back. They don't want to give one of their players and get back a piece and maybe a pick or something like that. They're probably looking for two key pieces from the Clippers and a pick and, possibly more if the Clippers are willing to give it. And see, that's not something the Clippers are willing to do, which is the reason why the Clippers, their situation is kind of crazy, because they can't seem to land any substantial other pieces simply because they want to, but they can't do it simply because other teams just don't want to take the little bit the Clippers are trying to give to get something else. And that's a problem for the Clippers. Having too much depth sometimes can be an issue, especially in situations like this when you're trying to make trades and, get new acquisitions and things like that. So it's definitely hard to be at the negotiating table when you're trying to give away little and get back more. So, that's the Clippers mindset, obviously, which is the reason why, things have not transpired with any other point guard. But Bones Hyland, I do think he's a very productive point guard. I think he can play with the second unit very well. I think he can back up Russ very well. I'm not too sure. I haven't, I got to see more from him. The little bit I've seen from him, I haven't seen a lot of turnovers too much. But then again, he doesn't play but so often. And then on Denver, he got put in the doghouse and kicked to the curb, as he said he felt, because his minutes and stuff diminished and things like that. And so we got to see more from Bones Hyland. But it's really hard for me to believe that Bones Hyland could be the good backup point guard that they need, substantiary to where it can help them win a championship. I'm not saying that he can't, but it's just hard for me to believe it right now because I got to see a lot more from him. So Russ is going to have to carry more of the burden in regards to that point guard role. And I believe Russ can, I believe he can do fairly well. I'm not saying Russ is going to do bad or anything like that. The more chemistry you build with a team, the better you'll get, and the more affiliated, acclimated you'll get with that team's ups and downs and ebbs and flows. And, Russ will figure it out. And he's figured out, pretty decent for himself. But, winning championships, as I always tell you, is another level. And Russ, he got to show me that he can take his game, or at least make his game comparable to push it to another level to help elevate the Clippers win a championship. That's the reason why Russ has never won a championship, because his game has always been elite, but it's been elite as in regards to electricity, velocity and ferociousness and all those things and all the things you want to see in a player when you go pay, their hard-earned money to see a player, go get tickets to see a game. But winning championships is another level, and it's a level of, maturity. It's a level of understanding. It's a level of it's a level of greatness, another level of greatness you got to reach to get to that point. And I always believe Russ can do it. I'm not saying Russ couldn't do it. I never said he couldn't do it. It's just that he hasn't. And, over time, since he hasn't won a championship, with teams, all the superstars he's been with, it's like it gets demoralizing. Like, okay, you start to second guess what you say about Russ. Like, can he really do it? Can he not? Can he really be the point guard for a team to help a team get to the championship? You second guess yourself when you see things over and over again not transpire. But Russ is a player. I know he could do a lot of great things, and don't ever think I don't think he can, because I know he can. But the onus going to be on him a lot more. Because like I said, they're probably not going to find no point guard. If they do happen to land one or something like that, it's probably not going to be nobody that we think of. And if they, if they got to rock with, Russ and Bones as the backup point guard, they just got to try to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I know what to expect from Russ. I really don't know what to expect from Bones Hyland. So that can make the balance a little bit shaky. You know what I'm saying? Because when you know what you're getting from a player, it makes it. I mean, you can figure out ways to work around it. But with Bones Hyland, I haven't seen enough from him to figure out what the Clippers could really get out of him in regards to, security of the basketball, not turning over, knocking down big shots, in big moments, things like that. Because there's a reason why Denver put him in the doghouse, basically. You know what I'm saying? So not saying that his game is trash or anything like that, but it may have been that his game wasn't developed enough or seasoned enough for them to go make a run for a championship. You see what I'm saying? So maybe that's the reason why they kind of pushed him back a little bit, because he's more of one of those exciting type players with his flashy gameplay and all that, which Bones has a lot of flash in his game, but flash don't win championships. You know what I'm saying? Great players with the right mindset and, being methodical and doing things taking it to another elite level gets you championships, you know what I'm saying? And being great in situational situations, as you always hear me say. So I have to see more Bones Hyland in that way. But I definitely think he can give the Clippers a different view, a different outlook. He can push the ball a lot more. The offense will move a little bit faster with him. And then you bring in Terrence Mann with him sometime, and they can pretty much push the ball more, keep the flow going. And then Russ, he could push the ball as well. But at times, Russ can also, play a half court. He's gonna have to get a little more acclimated with their half court sets, because they got two players that can isolate all the time in Kawhi and PG. So that half court basketball is gonna have to be more precise, especially the times when the playoffs come. And hopefully they can put it all together there. But, hey, leave any comments and let me know what you think about Bones, and see if you think, do you think maybe he can be the substantial backup point guard they need, or the Clippers need to go after somebody else? And leave any comments, and we'll talk about it.